It's time for grassroots racers and fans to gather around. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show, your destination for news and interviews within the Wisconsin racing scene, the upper Midwest, and from the world of motorsports. Thank you for joining us for our 38th season, America's longest running weekly motorsports program held in front of a live audience. Tell your friends they still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's show. And now, here is the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Good evening. How are you? Welcome to another program, our May 3rd edition. Man, we got a lot of stuff to cover here tonight on the program. It's the Racing Roundup Show. We're live as we are every Tuesday. Fresh content at 6 p.m. Central from Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. Tonight, there's a Brewers shuttle. Weather's bad outside. Why not grab the shuttle here at Paulies? Every Brewers home game, there's a shuttle going to the Brewers games from Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. And there will be doing Bucks home game shuttles. Keep that in mind. And tonight after the show, we've got live music after the show with Gabriel Sanchez. He can sing anything from Johnny Cash to Prince, and he's really good. So come on down and join the racing crowd. Out front, we've got Kyle Caswell's Grand National peeking out the back of the hauler, just enough to get a little taste of what he's going to race this year at 141 in the Grand National. Thank you, Kyle, for bringing the car down. The weather does not allow him to show the whole thing, so I guess you have to talk to Kyle at the show here and find out what he's going to do on the racetrack and go support him up in Johnson Creek. John DiPiazza will be along with his junior dragster buddies, Lena and Cameron Liss. They're racing siblings. They're on tonight's show during the A&A Tire Drag Race Report. We also have the winner of the Joe Shear Classic, Casey Johnson, joining us via video link. Looking forward to that. Talking to Kyle Caswell, as I mentioned. Dean Strom's here. We got a big show tonight. We're going to recap the big Sunday race at Madison as well with Bill Hollins in the groove. And when we come back from our first commercial break, you're going to be hearing from a driver that's from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, making waves in the world of the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Parker Retzloff is going to join us via video link as well. Come on down, join the racing crowd, listen to us on our website, watch what we're doing at racingroundupshow.com, on Facebook Live, and of course you can always find us right here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. We're on Twitter at Racing Roundup and Instagram as well. Join the racing crowd. We're hanging out here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. This is the Racing Roundup Show. We'll be right back.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Add value and beauty to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team at Central Services is their personal choice of over 45 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin for landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction and building your backyard patio oasis, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts at Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business. Find out why Central Services can provide you with the visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive, 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m., and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club points racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and racing schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
And we're back on the Racing Roundup show. I'd like to reinforce the fact that ARR, Allied Resource Recovery, is your destination for turning things into cash, called aluminum recycling. They have 3 locations, 80th and Burnham, ARR Waukesha Recycling at 1001 Tesh Court, and Cash In at National Salvage on South 44th Street across from where the Milwaukee Brewers play. Visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com. Tonight we have prize giveaways after the show, including, thanks to promoter Greg McCarnes, 2 tickets to Angel Park Speedway. That's for this Sunday opener, May 15th, not this Sunday, but May 15th. They're starting up on Sunday nights at Angel Park Speedway in Sun Prairie. We have tickets to give away after the show to someone here at Paulies. So come on down and try to win those. We also have bottles of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. We also have photos autographed by the driver from Greenfield Gallery, where they're always buying racing collections. You have a choice of an 8x10 AJ Allmendinger signed as he was on the grid at the Indy 500 in the IZOD-sponsored IndyCar, as well as an 8x10 from Rich Bickle, kneeling down next to his number 45 before the Miller days, so I'm guessing 1984-ish. That's an 8x10 we're giving away tonight. We have Vintage Motorsport Magazine. It's a high-quality, published 6 times a year. Feature author David Linden is here. He brought some copies along, some really good stuff, including Andretti's At the Mile that he wrote. We have Vintage Motorsport Magazine copies to give out tonight. We also have Interstate Batteries racing calendars and LED flashlight keychains, racing T-shirts, hoodies, die-cast cars, and Anderson's Maple Syrup, of course. Come on down and get yours here at Paulies after the show. It's time for the Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin NASCAR report. Interstate is a founding sponsor of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries are the #1 replacement battery in North America, and Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin has a battery for every need. Visit interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. You may have heard us reporting about an 18-year-old Rhinelander, Wisconsin racer. He's a native of Rhinelander, but he's racing part-time this season with RSS Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He raced the 19th on Saturday in his 4th start of the season. Let's welcome into the Racing Roundup show via video link, Parker Retzlaff. Parker, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're not doing as good as you. My goodness, you've been really setting the world on fire. I was at Phoenix when you qualified 6th in your very first NASCAR Xfinity Series start. I knew you ran some ARCA East Train races, but man, this is really exciting. How's it been going for you thus far this year?
Yeah, I mean, going into the qualifying 6th, the first race of the year was it was a bit mind-blowing because I didn't expect to qualify that good going to our first race and the first time ever being there. But I feel like it started our season out good, and it's just we've been trying to build off every week and try and get better. It's just we've struggled a little bit here and there, but I think overall we're doing really good.
And consider that there's not a lot of practice time, as in like very little practice time, and then you're qualifying, trying to make the show. I mean, there's guys that are going home that have more experience than you. Qualifying and finishing at 10th at Richmond in just your second race. How did that help you kind of establish, not saying, hey, we did really good at Phoenix, now what? You kind of got in a rhythm there at Richmond, didn't you, in your second race?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we showed up to Richmond. Had confidence from Phoenix. My biggest struggle in my whole racing career has been qualifying. So I think qualifying that good right away has helped me a lot this year. I messed up a little bit at Martinsville in qualifying and at Dover a little bit, but I feel like we've put ourselves in the middle of the pack even when we haven't been right towards the front, and it's just helped for making the race not as hard.
Talking to Parker Retzlaff, drives the number 38 Ponzi Ford, right, for RSS Racing. It's got to be cool knowing you're working with Ryan Sieg and his team, and his brother Kyle was your teammate this year. How has that been with a team that really is, 8 or 9, 10 employees deep, that you guys are really, really impressing a lot of folks, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the biggest team, but everyone puts a lot of hard work in there, and it's just been lots of everyone putting hard work and time and everything into it. And I've been trying to use Ryan a lot and lean on Ryan to learn as much as I can since he has so much experience in the Xfinity car and all that stuff. So it's been leaning on Ryan and all their experience over the years, and I think that's helped us a lot this year.
It has to help a ton knowing you've got the confidence. What do you have, a half a dozen more races or so? Is that the number still? 6 left after this one?
Yeah, I got 6 more starting in Nashville in June.
So now you're super speedway classified. So the Dover race was important because I'm guessing there's a progression you had to pass through and running at Dover as well as you did. Hey, you're getting some TV time. I'm seeing some Twitter chatter, man. They're like, we need to get you a full-time ride. How exciting is that knowing you've got that interaction and that support growing as you do this part-time?
Yeah, it's been really cool to see all the support and everything growing throughout the year. It was really cool to see like start getting some recognition after Richmond after running so well after we struggled so bad just on pit road and everything that was going on. So it's been really good, but I feel like I've also put a lot of pressure on myself to keep running that good and making sure I'm up there every week.
So you go from the flat paperclip at Martinsville, where you finished 12th after starting 20th. Nice job. This past Saturday, Dover was a crazy race. I call it the roller coaster concrete mile. It had to be a whole lot different. Have you had a chance to race there prior to this weekend?
Yeah, I did two ARCA East races there or ARCA races there. So I feel like it was the most confident I've been going in, and we struggled a little bit just with the car and everything just when we got there. But I feel like we ran good throughout the race. It was yeah, like you said, it was a bit of a crazy race. I was 4 wide at one point around Dover. It was just it was a crazy race.
I mean, it's a learning tool. You brought it home on the lead lap in one piece. I mean, that's an accomplishment in itself. That's really exciting to know you've done that. For those who don't know, watching this show, we've been around for over 30 years on this program. We know where Rhinelander is, but we may not know what your background is. So for our viewers on RacingRoundupShow.com or Facebook Live or as they're consuming this program, where did Parker Retzlaff come from to get this opportunity into the world of NASCAR?
Yeah, I was born in Rhinelander. I started going to the off-road races in Crandon, and that's where I started just watching the races. And then I ended up going to TNT Speedway in Three Lakes and watching that. And we decided that that was going to be an easier route than trying to go off-road racing. So we did that in the sprint cars, and then to the Bandoleros, and then to like the Midwest or the Truck Series on dirt in Three Lakes and Tomahawk. And then it was to the Midwest Truck Series for a couple of years, and then that's when I came down south to do some of like the late model stock stuff down here, and uh, then that's when I started the ARCA stuff in 2019 with Bruce Cook, which he was a big help to my career, and then I this year that all led up to this year starting the Xfinity stuff and trying to build off that.
That's a lot in a short period of time. You don't turn age 19 for a couple weeks yet, so that's a big move. How'd you balance work life and school and moving south at such a young age?
Yeah, I did the last couple of years of school online just because missing too many days racing. I couldn't do regular school, but and then as soon as I was able to, I was 18. I moved down here to try and fully focus on my racing, and I do a lot of the iRacing Pro stuff too. So I focus on that all the time. It's just lots of racing.
All right, so you may be better known for your iRacing. Let's get right to the point. You are with Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing as their iRacing team driver. Is that the Coca-Cola series that everybody's talking about? And how have you been doing? Because I know you've got thousands, literally thousands of victories behind you. How's that series going?
Yeah, it's just like the Xfinity stuff. You have to be on top of your game, or it's a struggle. Everyone that is there is putting the time and the hard work to be there. So there's 40 of the best sim racers there, and it's been a crazy year. We went from running towards the front to just crashing to just we've been throughout the whole field. It's fun, but it can also be stressful at times.
We can follow Parker Retzlaff on Twitter. I looked at your Twitter feed today at Parker79P. You
Yep.
showed a video of you threading the needle in the iRacing at Dover in what would be Brad Keselowski's Kohler Generators Wisconsin sponsored car. When was that? When did that race take place? Do you guys race every weekend as the Cup Series races across the schedule?
No, we do half of the races. So
Okay.
every 2 weeks we race. So this week it was Tuesday that we raced Dover before I went to the actual Xfinity race at Dover. So it was a little bit of practice and just learn the track more.
So Parker, that would be an obvious question for you. Does that help you knowing how much seat time you have in iRacing? Does that help you in these limited opportunities to get accustomed to Dover when you have a 20-minute practice right before you qualify and then line up to go race the same day?
Yeah, I mean, I think iRacing is a big help. It can be a big help if you use it for that tool. And I feel like everyone who usually has it. I know there's a couple of us who race in real life who are in the Coke Series, so I think it is a help. And anything you can do to try and learn before you get there with only the 20 minutes of practice isn't a lot to learn, especially when you're trying to learn a track and try and figure it out all yourself. Like, I think it's a lot of help, and it can make for a lot better of a weekend.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you're getting that extra time. As good as you are, you know what you want in that race car, and you know what you can communicate. That's so huge. What I do want to tell you is I really enjoyed where your teammates on the NASCAR Cup Garage at Dover, the Cup Garage is right inside of turn 1 and 2. They were literally at the fence pushing their car through tech when you were qualifying, and they went, zoom, hey, there's our driver, the RFK Coca-Cola Racing Series driver, while you're doing your lap. That's kind of cool. You have that kind of synergy as well now at the track, not just as a team member at your own iRacing rig.
Yeah, and I feel like we've talked to it. I think they've been trying to help me in any way I can, and I've talked to the RFK drivers a little bit, even about the real life stuff. So they've tried to help me as much as they can, even my real life stuff. So I think that's been a big help. I talked to Kozlowski before Martinsville, before getting to Martinsville, for some help. So they've been helping me any way they can, and I appreciate everything they do for me.
Before we let you go, we certainly want to make sure we know more about your sponsor, Ponce. They've been involved with you really since you were in the Midwest Truck Series. So take us through their support. Are they a Wisconsin company? Can we find them and buy equipment from them? Tell us more about Ponce, your sponsor.
Yeah, so it's actually the main company is actually from Finland. So they have a North American store in the main North American store is in Rylander. So that's where we met them and all that. The whole thing started. So it actually started in the Bandoleros. It started out small and it's just grown every year. Wow,
that long ago. Holy cow. Yeah, awesome.
So yeah, so that's where that whole thing started.
And what do they do? You
can find them on Facebook and everything.
Is it logging industry related stuff, if I remember right? So
yeah,
are you up there?
Equipment.
So is your fire suit going to be like a lumberjack on a given day? You're going to have to wear like the big old lumberjack beard when you got to go on the grid for throwback weekend or something like that? Or when they bring a bunch of people to the track, you have to dress different to represent?
I mean, I don't know. It's all what the president of the company comes to all my races. So he's if he wants something one week, we might end up with something like that. But it's just all depends on what they want.
And Parker, what's it like getting that TV time? You're getting great coverage. They're talking about you when you're qualifying. They're talking about you. They're coming after you after the race when you finish 10th in Martinsville. They're bringing the microphone to you. What's that reaction been, and how has that helped you with your sponsors and your following?
Yeah, I feel like it's grown my following a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I'm trying to just keep building off of it and trying to do as much as I can to give back to my sponsors and everybody that supports me. So I just appreciate everyone that has helped me my whole career, even not right now, but earlier in my career. So I'm just trying to give back to everybody and do as many interviews as I can and everything I can for everyone who supports me.
Well, we appreciate it. We are a show that covers all things Wisconsin. We've been doing this for a while, and I look forward to seeing you at one of the NASCAR races upcoming. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how you progress throughout the year. We'll cover you for sure. And hope to have you back on maybe later on in the season after you get that first top 5, and then we'll talk about when that win's coming. How's that sound?
All right. Thank you.
How about I say it for Parker Retzlaff joining us here on the show. Thank you, Parker. Great to have him on the program. You bet. Thank you so much. And the neat thing about him is, as he's described, I mean, he's really worked hard at doing this. In 2019, moving down in North Carolina, and Bruce Cook's a really good guy. He was Kevin Harvick's crew chief, Ron Hornaday's crew chief in the trucks. Really good guy to learn from. So now he's working with RSS Racing, which is a family team in Tucker, Georgia. It's really cool how the Siegs are really getting by and now working with Ford directly as a affiliate team for the Ford Motor Company in the Xfinity Series, which is kind of a new thing for them after many years with Richard Childress Racing connections. Hey, it took until Monday afternoon, as we're talking NASCAR on the Interstate Batteries NASCAR Report, it took until Monday afternoon for Chase Elliott's first oval win since clinching the championship at Phoenix Raceway in November of 2020. The race was rain delayed after 71 laps were completed on Sunday. It ran Monday afternoon. Elliott led the final 53 laps, got the lead on the last restart of the 400-lapper at Dover Motor Speedway, and beat Ricky Stenhouse by over 2 seconds to the checkered flag. Elliott's win set another record for Hendrick Motorsports. They're now the first Cup team to have all 4 of their drivers win a NASCAR Cup Series race within the first 11 races to start any NASCAR Cup season. Ross Chastain battled with Martin Truex for third on the last lap. Chastain got the spot. Truex spun and resumed to finish 12th. Martin wasn't happy after, was he? 2 wheels came off of race cars during the race. 4, actually. 2 of them really kind of played into Denny Hamlin's detriment. His Toyota lost the wheel. A.J. Allmendigger's Chevy lost the wheel. Hammond was leading when he pitted, only to have his left front tire literally depart as he left pit road. They kind of tied themselves at the end of pit road at the scoring line. They had a camera. There goes Denny's car. There goes the tire. So he had to come back in and pit. He started from 29th, made it all the way back up to 5th, and he got in a tangle with Cody Ware, and that squashed his comeback. Menominee Falls, Wisconsin NASCAR Cup Series driver Josh Palicki finished 32nd and took blame for a practice mishap that kind of set the team back for the weekend. This coming weekend is Darlington Throwback Weekend for all 3 NASCAR National Series. It's really kind of fun to see what the paint jobs are, and it's been all over the social media. But if you want to find out what those cool paint jobs mean, because you'll see a bunch of different colors in cars and trucks, jski.com is a great website. They feature paint schemes. You'll have them throughout the weekend. This Wednesday is when voting members of the NASCAR Hall of Fame will vote on inductees. That is in tomorrow. We will find out if Matt Kenseth, the most recent announced inductee on the list, will be inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame the first time he's on the ballot. Again, that is tomorrow, so we'll keep track of things. Dave Coleman, no doubt, will have us covered on jsonline.com. At Dover on Friday, teenager Taylor Gray raced away from the field to win the General Tire 125 ARCA Menard Series race. That was an East Series race, and they're racing at Nashville this coming weekend and the fairgrounds. Josh Berry led the final 55 of 200 laps to win Saturday's NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Dover. His junior motorsports teammates Justin Allgaier, Noah Gragson, and Franklin, Wisconsin Sam Mayer finished 2nd, 4th, and 5th. Mayer qualified 2nd and won Stage 1, only to have a left rear tire depart after a pit stop. He had to rally forward from his spot 19th on a track he dominated at. When he was in the ARCA Menard Series East, he led every lap there a couple times. So it's a track he's familiar with, so good job to rally back to 5th, Sam. And it's really neat to know that we got Parker Rutzloff as another Wisconsin driver we're going to be featuring and following as his next race is Nashville Super Speedway in his 10-race NASCAR Xfinity Series deal with RSS Racing. Hope you enjoyed our little NASCAR program segment. We want to tell you there's a lot more to come on the show. We've got a dirt car kind of tucked out of the backside of the trailer out here out front. It's Kyle Caswell's Grand National dirt car. We also have John DiPiazza hanging out with us in the A&A Drag Race Report. We'll hear from some young racers, siblings, Elena and Cameron Liss. We also are going to be talking to Casey Johnson with Dean Straub during the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. All that and more in this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Come on down and join the racing crowd here live at Paulies Pub at Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show.
Need a pack and move? Well, we do a lot of them. And we have all the proper materials to pack your belongings safe and sound so they arrive in the same condition as they went out in. Packing boxes, bubble wrap, mirror packs, lamp boxes, dish packs. We get the job done right. Packed and labeled properly so it all ends up in the right spot in your new place. This is Rick Vanderboom. Blue Mountain Express, moving and storage, will improve your move.
BlueMountainExpress.com. We will improve your move.
Statewide.
It'll be here before you know it. America's National Park of Speed, Road America, has a thrilling, jam-packed race season coming May through September. Vintage racing, IndyCar, NASCAR, and more. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com.
At Automatic Transmission Design, we know your vehicle is important to you. When your transmission needs servicing, take it to the best. ATD in Germantown, Wisconsin. ATD understands how important it is to get your vehicle fixed right the first time. When you take your vehicle to ATD, our ASE trained technicians will run diagnostic tests to pinpoint the exact problem and answer any questions you may have before repairs begin. ATD has been providing high-quality, honest repairs to customers for over 15 years. We service all makes and models using the best parts and equipment available. When you come to ATD, you will get an honest assessment of the problem, simple explanations, experienced technicians, competitive pricing, high-quality parts, and their 100% guarantee. Money is not the goal at ATD. It is the result of fixing the problem and returning the vehicle to you. That is their goal. The next time your vehicle needs quality transmission service, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
This Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park, the 60th annual season opener with 5 exciting divisions. The Pro Late models will be running for the Cabin Fever 50. The UMA Asphalt Mods, UMA Sportsman, along with Bandits and 6-shooters, will add to all the racing excitement. Gates open at 3, qualifying at 4:30, green flag racing at 6. Dell's Raceway Park, located 5 miles west of Wisconsin Dells on highways 12 and 16 or exit 85 off I-9094. Go online to DellsRacewayPark.com for tickets or more info. Good food, great family fun every Saturday at Dell's Raceway Park.
The Bill Hallinan production. Yes. Hey, we're having a blast. Come on down and join us any Tuesday. We're having a bunch of fun. We're here at Paulies Pub and Eatery this Tuesday, next Tuesday, and the next Tuesday. And on May 24th, we're going to be hanging out at Bobby's Bar. I've taken our show on the road to the first D'Angelo's Construction Road Show, May 24th. Bobby's Bar is at 14735 West Lisbon Road in Brookfield. Going to have a lot of fun there. John DiPiazza and his buddies are going to be hanging out with us there. John will be on our show tonight. We're talking drag racing, and I think TJ Zizzo might be lined up for May 24th, too. It's always a blast. He brings a bunch of blown-up engine parts from his Top Fuel dragster. It's a lot of fun and a lot of good hardware to hand out, and it's going to be fun to join us on a given Tuesday all summer long, 6 o'clock Central Time. Fresh content for you, 6 o'clock Central every Tuesday here on the Racing Roundup program. I had a thing sitting in front of me. It says Matt Rapina, Caldwell Banker. Say something about him. Okay, I will. If you're looking to buy or sell a home or commercial property, mattrapina.com is the website. Matt is a Caldwell Banker home sale realty professional, killing it. So if you want to buy or sell a home or a commercial property, mattrapina.com and Matt Rapina Caldwell Banker home sale realty is the place to do it. He'd like to remind us that not all realtors are the same. You need to list and buy with confidence. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Choose Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty and list it with Matt Rapina. That website address, mattrapina.com. I now bring in my broadcast partner from Sunday's race action at Joe Shear Classic at Madison International. We got a lot of fun on MidwestTour.tv. Dean Strom, welcome back to the show.
Jim, it's good to have me.
On a Tuesday night.
On a Tuesday. We're going to be at Bobby's Bar?
We are, May 24th.
I've been there. It is very nice.
It is.
It is a very nice.
We're going to be set up right now.
That is the former Slim McGinn's, I
Yep,
think?
Slim's West, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent establishment.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Looking forward to it. Bonafide Security Solutions brings you the Short Track Report for camera and alarm systems for your home or business, program card access, and gun safes. It's a lock. Support the racers at Team Bonafide by calling 262-790-9400 or go online, bonafidesafe.com. Bonafide protects what you value. Captain Obvious right here. Weather affected several Wisconsin racetracks this past weekend.
It affected everybody.
Just about.
One racetrack went racing, though. Not a lot did.
So we're going to have a bunch of racetracks try to get their season going this coming weekend. You heard about Dell's Raceway Park. You just heard the ad there.
Yep.
Also, Wilmot Raceway on the Kenosha County Fairgrounds. This Saturday night, Wilmot Raceway opens with Wisconsin Wingless Sprints, Modified Street Stocks, and Bandits. Gates open at 5 o'clock. Details at wilmotraceway.com. CK Contractors, LLC.com. Brings us the happenings at Wilmot Raceway. Hire the pros at CK Contractors for Lake Michigan shore restoration, lot grading, excavation, retention pond building, and more. 2 dates at Wilmot that you want to plan for. Coming up, May 15th, the Diamond 44 for the Dirt Kings Tour. We'll have Turk Letizia with us next week on the show to preview his dad's race.
Turk's racing in it. Yeah, it should be fun.
And Friday night, May 20th, the annual IRA All-Star Sprints Challenge. Again, also at Wilmot Raceway. Friday night, May 20th. That's going to be a good one indeed. Reigning USAC National Midget Champ, Buddy Kofoid, had a parts failure, flipped with 14 laps remaining in the 100-lap USAC Silver Crown race at Terre Haute Action Track in Indiana. Kofoid was making his series debut and was in the lead at the time, and he was aboard Wisconsin team owner Hans Leans, number 97. Justin Grant grabbed the lead from Jerry Coons on the ensuing restart to score the win. A tangle between Shullsburg, Wisconsin's David Byrne and Davey Ray knocked them back to 22nd and 25th place finishes. Veteran racer Brian Tyler now number 1 on the all-time Silver Crown USAC list for starts and total number of passes made in feature races, moving past Dave Darlin and Jack Hewitt. That's some good company right there.
I'd say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wisconsin-based 410 sprint car racers Bill Baylog, Scotty Thiel raced in Pennsylvania and Ohio with the All-Stars this past Friday and Saturday night. Friday night's A main at Lernerville Speedway. Baylog finished 19th in the A. Thiel grabbed 23rd in the Gibsonville Cheese number 73. Saturday at the Dave Blaney-owned Sharon Speedway, Balog drove his Anderson's Maple Syrup-sponsored 17B to a heat race victory, placed 9th in the A main. Scotty qualified 13th, one spot ahead of Sammy Swindell, but did not complete the B main. For the first time in 35 years, the bumper-to-bumper IRA Outlaw Sprints race this Saturday night at Sycamore Speedway in Illinois. This Friday and Saturday also going on closer to home here in southeastern Wisconsin, Slinger Super Speedway, off-road trucks.
I saw them building a ramp.
They built a bridge.
And then another ramp, and they topped it off with a bridge
in the
between
middle of
the ramps.
X, in the middle of the X of the figure eight. They put a dirt bridge. Yeah,
so they're driving over and under.
Part of the track is going to be dirt. Part of it's going to be pavement. It's a SOTA off-road series. First time ever at Slinger Speedway. It shall be interesting Friday and Saturday night.
Lowell Bennett's daughter, Season Bennett, used to his junior dragsters. Took a couple years off. I read all this thanks to Lynn with Slinger Speedway posting this today on their Facebook page. She's racing a UTV and a quad. She likes flying 50 feet in the air.
It's pretty cool. So another Bennett is going to be racing at the Slinger Super Speedway this weekend. MSA Sprints begin their season this Saturday at the Plymouth Dirt Track. The 2021 season ended with Blue Mound Express-sponsored Fast Jack Vanderboom in Victory Lane. He hopes to make it 2 in a row. For more on the series, visit msasprints.com. And Madison International Speedway kicked off their season with 3 divisions competing in the Joe Shear Classic presented by Keen Parts. For the Racing Roundup show, here is the race day recap in Bill Holland's In the
Bill
Groove.
Holland in the Groove at Madison International Speedway, home of the annual Joe Shear Classic. This race not only honors a Wisconsin short track legend, but it's a fixture on the ARCA Midwest Tour. And this year, paying $15,000 to the winner. Former NASCAR champion Matt Kenseth was a track champion here in 1994. He's one of the few drivers competing today who raced with Joe Shear on Wisconsin short tracks.
Joe was kind of a mentor of mine. He was a great race car driver, a great fabricator. He's a very quiet man. He didn't have a lot to say. He had a short temper. He had a lot of things I remember about Joe. You know, I worked with him at left-hander for a while. I took over his ride at Nielsen when he wanted to go do something different. So he definitely taught me a lot, and I enjoyed knowing him and racing against him.
5-time Midwest Tour champion Ty Majeski is here gunning for his 30th series feature win with a new look and a new number.
This is a tribute to our team owner, Todd Nagel. He's with Incredible Bank, and his dad had a race team back in the 70s down in Nebraska. He raced a bunch of dirt down there, and when Todd built this car, he put the 21 on it as a tribute to him and his team from back in the day. So excited to be behind the wheel of this car, and hopefully we can give it its first victory today.
Like Majeski, Derek Kraus races full-time in NASCAR's Truck Series and comes home to race super late models as often as possible.
To be able to add this one would be really cool, and just to run well. I feel like 200 laps, so that's a long race. A lot can happen in 200 laps, especially here. So we'll do what we can today, and if it don't work out, it don't work out. But if it does, that'd be really cool.
1 year ago, Luke Fenhouse finished second in the Joe Shear Classic. That performance got the Wausau, Wisconsin driver a lot of attention.
Yeah, it did. It kind of just kick-started our season, really. Made the connection with Rich Bickle right away, and really just had a strong run. You know, that was big for our team by winning the Icebreaker 100 and then coming to finish second in the Joe Shear Classic. So can't beat that, really. Just trying to one-up it this weekend, and I think we'll have a shot at it.
Minnesota's Dan Fredrickson won the very first Joe Shear Classic more than a decade ago. He's back for a shot at a second trophy and $15,000 first prize.
I was a little kid in the stands watching Joe Shear. He was one of the hot dogs when I was coming up, and dreaming about being a race car driver and hoping to someday have a super late model and race at these Wisconsin racetracks. So I watched them and I admired them.
Fast qualifying honors go to John DeAngelis Jr., with much of the field lapping the MIS half mile in well under 18 seconds.
There's a lot of good competition here today, and to be quick time is a really good feeling. It's my first ever super late quick time, so it's a lot to be proud of, and I think we got a really good hot rod for today.
The 602 Outlaw late models are part of the program this afternoon. Dennis Prunty in the 42 and Brad Worthen in the 22 bring the field to green on a restart, and the 22 goes around. Brad Worthen hard into the front stretch wall. Big wreck in front of the field. Worthen is okay, the race car is not. Coming to the finish, it's Prunty leading former Artgo star Tom Carlson in the 51. Prunty won the 602 Outlaw opener at Dells Raceway Park and takes the win at MIS. He's 2 for 2 on the year. In the Midwest Truck feature, it comes down to a battle between Kevin Canese in the black 37 and fast qualifier Bryce Miller in the 11. Canese finished second by a fender in the series opener last month, and this will be another close one. It's Canese with the win, Bryce Miller a very close second.
It was just a matter of attrition there, I think. Just running on the outside. He got a little loose on one of the laps. I did not, and that was kind of the difference. So I don't know what the margin was, but it was close. It was really close.
Levon Vandergeest in the 23 and Austin Nason lead the field to green, and the 2022 Joe Shear Classic 200 is underway. Nason will make the high side work and take the lead, with Michael Bilderback second, Vandergeest third, and Dan Fredrickson battling Casey Johnson for the fourth spot. Nason, looking to become a two-time winner, now has Johnson in second, and Ty Majeski on a charge up to fourth and looking to take third from Bilderback. Dalton Zare is on the move also. He's up to fourth behind Majeski. There's smoke coming out of the 21. Oh, big trouble, fire. And Ty Majeski hard into the third turn wall. Big impact here. Very good to see Ty out of the car and okay. Nason in the 14 and Johnson in the 5 up front as we restart with 27 laps in the books. Austin Nason continues to set the pace, with Dalton Zare now up to the second spot. Then Johnson, Bilderback, Luke Fenhouse in the 4, Derek Kraus driving the 9, and fast qualifier John DeAngelis Jr. in the 7. Right behind them, Justin Mondyke in the 44, racing with Matt Kenseth, and qualifying heat winner Gabe Summers. And new leader, Dalton Zare taking the top spot from Nason. Casey Johnson on the move also. He'll work inside the 14 car and take over the second spot. Zare beginning to pull away. The 2 car slow on the track. Michael Bilderback to the pits. We have a competition caution with 101 laps to go. With controlled pit stops, drivers keep their positions in relation to the cars that pit at the same time. And everyone's in. No one's staying out on the track. Time to go green in the second half. Dalton Zare and Casey Johnson on the front row leading the way. We'll find out right now if these two are the class of the field or if someone else has been saving their equipment for a late race charge to the front. Johnson and Zare side by side with Derek Kraus and John DeAngelis Jr. right behind in third and fourth. And Casey Johnson takes the lead, making the high side work. Johnson up front and leading Zare, Kraus, and DeAngelis. And we're under caution. Austin Nason in the wall on the backstretch. He had been running fifth, but the 14 is done for the day. Johnson and Zare ready to battle side by side with 63 laps to go. There will not be another competition caution in this race. Johnson with the lead. He clears the 119, leading Zare, DeAngelis, and Kraus. Those two have had their own battle today, and it's not over. The 9 and 7 cars really getting after it. Casey Johnson's held off the 119, but the leaders are in traffic. Tristan Swanson, Ryan Farrell, Levon Vandergeest, among others. This heavy lap traffic lets Dalton Zare close in on the leader. The 119 is close, but getting to the leader is one thing, getting past is another. And no one is getting by Casey Johnson today. The two-time ARCA Midwest Tour champion wins the 2022 Joe Shear Classic. He is one fired-up race car driver.
It's huge to me. It might take a few days to sink in, but this is a huge win for our team and myself, and to be able to start stacking up some of these big races, it's unbelievable. You say that 15 grand, that takes a super late model team like us to different strides. You know, the things that we blew a motor at the Dells, you know, it takes care of stuff like that. It's just, it's a huge kickstart for us, I can tell you that, especially being early in the season.
Casey Johnson's won big events before, but this is the biggest payday ever for the two-time Midwest Tour champion. I'm Bill Holland. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time we go in the groove on the Racing Roundup Show.
And that report was courtesy of Bill Holland. Bill did a great job. We're going to see more from him throughout the 2022 season. One thing that, a couple of things I want to add to that, Jim. You and I had the opportunity to be there. As you said, we were calling the race for MidwestTour.tv.
Yep.
A tip of the cap to Wisconsin short track racing fans, because
bingo. It
was not a nice day. And they came and they showed up, and I mean they're in droves. It was an outstanding crowd, and for those short track fans from Wisconsin to sit in that, they got treated to 3 fantastic divisions of racing. But Angela McCarnes, one of the co-owners of the track, even went to Facebook and said, "I couldn't believe my eyes when she said," and I'm paraphrasing here, she said, "Why are we opening up? Why are we doing this?" And then the cars just kept coming in and coming in and coming in. So it was just a great testament to short track racing fans. And then one thing we didn't see in that report from Bill was Casey Johnson broke a transmission in practice, in the final practice session on Sunday morning.
Yes.
And they had a spare, and the crew, led by Travis Dassow, they went and fixed it, had to borrow a drive shaft from Johnny DeAngelis, but they had a spare. Casey and team had a spare, put it in. The first time that thing rolled was when it rolled to the qualifying line, and luckily for Casey, he was going towards the end of the qualifying line. But the crew did a great job. He did a great job, and just to have that spare transmission there really saved the day.
And guess what?
What's that?
He just showed up.
Whoa, there he is, right there.
Hey, Racing Roundup fans, give it up for Casey Johnson joining us now live via video. Casey, congrats, man! What a huge win on Sunday. That was an amazing feat. How much did you guys have to thrash, and did you guys have enough time to get it right eventually? Because my goodness, the clock was running out because you guys had to get out there and qualify after that big damage of the tranny.
Yeah, I mean, we had just enough time. Lucky enough for us, the qualifying number was 6, so we were the last car to go out anyway. So, I mean, the guys got to work right away. Travis had a plan for them before I even got back to our pit stall, so all the parts were sitting there, and there's about 10 of them just flying around that car, and they got her out just in time for me.
I asked you, Casey, afterwards, after the race, was there any doubt in your mind at all? When you put something together like that, on the fly, change the transmission, change the drive shaft, everything's got to be lined up just perfect. Was there any doubt in your mind that this thing is going to be right?
Actually, no, I really didn't have any doubt. I mean, those guys have done it 100 times. I mean, as smooth as they did it, it was just like clockwork. So, no, I had no doubts.
Who'd you steal the parts from, and did you give them back?
Well, actually, Travis had borrowed our spare transmission to Jeff Storm, so we had to go back to his trailer to grab that.
Okay.
And then John DeAngelis, he gave us a drive shaft and a yoke, so thanks to them for that. And, like I said, we had to cut up a couple things in the car to get that stuff to fit in, but we got her in and we got rolling.
So, Casey, you more than anyone can tell us how difficult it is to replace a drive line, not just a thrash, but in general. There's a lot of parts that have to fit. You said you're cutting away at things. I mean, you have to get the right length of drive shaft, and they're made to length based upon what your transmission is and where your engine is and all sorts of craziness. So this is like a heaven sent, everything fell in place. When were you comfortable? Was it after qualifying, lap 100 in the race, when you knew you had a good piece that was going to stay together for you?
Well, really, so we thought we had problems Saturday during practice, so I actually replaced the drive shaft that morning because we had a slight vibration. And, I thought we kind of had it fixed. The next thing you know, the parts are flying all over the place. So apparently we didn't have it fixed. And so once we put the new transmission and the new drive shaft in, the thing ran smooth as glass. So I was thoroughly confident right after qualifying.
And then we get a report, Casey, Jim and I get a report during the race that you have a miss underneath the hood of the number 5. Well, if that's a miss, I think we ought to program that miss for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That worried me big time. So I don't know. It had to be about lap 60 or so. My initial throttle back to the gas, there'd be a slight blubber, and all of a sudden it would take off. So usually once you develop that, it doesn't get any better, and it usually gets a lot worse. But lucky for me, it was so consistent, that blubber was, that I could time it out with the way I was doing the throttle. So it was definitely annoying, but we were able to work through it.
So you won last August in the Hobby Lotto Classic 100 lapper at Madison International Speedway. You've now won 3 of the last 5 series races. But this is a big deal. 200 laps on Madison International Speedway can cause a lot of things to go wrong, brakes being one of them. Obviously, you found transmission issues that you overcame, but that racetrack and that length of race, it had to be really satisfying climbing out with that big old check and those big trophies waiting for you.
Well, extremely. I mean, a couple of years ago, we were actually leading that race, and our fuel pump quit on me with 2 laps to go. I mean, I could almost taste it right then and there. And last year we had a steering rack break when we were running 4th with a really good car. It just seems like that race has been right there for us, and finally being able to capitalize is a huge deal for me.
Jim mentioned a couple trophies. You got the Keen Cup. It was a big silver cup. Looked pretty heavy. And then we got the Weir's Machine made trophy, special trophy for the event with the Joe Shear die-cast. So I want to know who keeps the trophy and where is it?
So I initially kept it, but my dad, he wasn't feeling the greatest, so he couldn't actually make it to the race last weekend. And so I actually brought it over to his house, and that one's sitting in front of his TV on the stand right now.
Talk about Casey Johnson, winner of the big Joe Shear Classic 200 on Sunday at Madison International Speedway. Dean talked about how blustery of a day it was and how cool the temperatures got. What was it like racing in those conditions for you throughout the race? Because I know you only had that one chance to come to pit road that you took under a caution about halfway through. What was the weather like affecting you guys, if anything?
Oh, it was absolutely beautiful where I was sitting. But those fans, I know my wife and kids, I couldn't believe they were up there roughing the weather. I mean, it's like they were at a Packer football game in the middle of December with the wind blowing and 40 degrees out. But it was a packed house. But yeah, for us drivers, I mean, I don't think you could get much better for us.
You're pretty even keeled. I don't see you get real mad. I don't see you get super excited. When you get out of the car there on Sunday, that was the most excited that I have seen you. Pumping on pounding on the hood, pounding on the trunk, waving the flag, hooting and hollering. Was that just a product of the big check? Was that a product of beating some of the best racers in the Midwest? Was that a product of, boy, we overcame so much? What was behind all that enthusiasm that I haven't seen out of you before?
Well, for me, it's always about the trophy and the win. I mean, yeah, it was awesome that it was a huge check, but I mean, the thing that drives me is just winning the big event. The marquee events throughout the Midwest. I mean, that's what my ambition is in the sport. We're fortunate enough, we have some really good sponsors behind us, and they love us when we can run up front in the big races like that.
So I saw the Hogan brothers at Pensacola Five Flag Speedway for the Snowball Derby. Met them there and chatted for a while. Of course, I saw them on Sunday after the race. That's when I was chasing you down after the race real quick. Man, I said, did I get it right? If I had a long rifle range, I could see the land that they farm right from the tower at Madison. I mean, it's kind of cool to have their home track a big win for your sponsor as well.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been going out there for years, and like you say, it's right in their backyard. So any race at Madison that I can make and that I can win, I mean, they're tickled pink, and they've been behind me for a long time, and to be able to do that for them is just awesome.
Casey, you've raced with a lot of different people. This year, you told me you're going to race with 2 different teams when it comes to the ARCA Midwest Tour schedule. Is that the 2 teams you're working with, or is there going to be a third element mixed in there, or 4th or 5th now that you're getting all the success? Or people bugging you to buy a late model and drive at Jefferson, or buy a modified and run at the Dells? I mean, what kind of season are you now building toward with at least 2 different teams?
Well, I know for the Midwest Tour, obviously we've been driving for Apex Motorsports with Travis for the first couple events. He's taken kind of the bigger marquee events, and then me and Aaron Larson, we actually built another brand new Reed chassis together this off season. So we're gonna hit the rest of the Midwest Tour events, and then we got Haver Motorsports that also lets me drive some of their limited late stuff. I have my own limited lates as well. There's no shortage of cars to drive. Let's just put it that way.
Casey, I try to do my best in making light of the fact that there's a lot of chassis manufacturers that you seem to have you got to jump and get their stuff, or go to this guy, or find a national one. I won't name them, but tell us more about Reed Chassis. That's another Wisconsin proud business that's really doing well with you guys, isn't it?
Absolutely. I tell you what, those guys, it's a real small operation, but there's nobody more driven to create speed that I've ever worked with. And that's kind of why, I mean, we just keep migrating towards there. The first one that called me Monday morning was Dave Reed Sr. He's like, so what do we got to do to make these cars go better? I mean, we just, we won the race, but he's always looking to improve. And yeah, like I said, it's a real small shop. But they're not lacking any of the technology or the knowledge. So it's an absolute blessing to be able to work with them guys.
And they work with you, I'm guessing, because you are very chassis savvy as well. It's got to be a great partnership. How much do you get involved, and how many pickup points do you kind of mess with and discuss as you kind of want to get what you need in a race car to win big races like Sunday?
So Travis and Dave, I mean, those guys do the chassis stuff as far as like the construction of the chassis. But when it comes to like, what I can feel in the bump stops, what I can feel in the rear of the car, then they kind of lean on me and they make changes moving forward. And so the car we're driving right now, they kind of, redesign things from years past to improve on what, I was feeling.
Dean, I think it's kind of cool that we get to talk to Casey. And I think the next Midwest Tour race might be something you're looking forward to as well. It's at Jefferson Speedway where your win ratio is like 90% when you race there, no matter what it is. That's on Memorial Day, Saturday night.
Yeah, we've had some great luck over there over the years. Just like you say, it's just in my backyard. It's about 15 minutes down the road. It's where I cut my teeth racing. I watched my dad race out there for many years, and that's where I learned to bang doors on these short tracks. I mean, I can't wait to get back there. We've had some success with Midwest Tour there even, so that'll be my first race with Aaron Larson in the Midwest Tour, so hopefully we can hit the ground running.
That'll be on MidwestTour.tv. We're giving that free plug in there because it's kind of fun hanging out. I mean, has there been any reaction from what people saw either in the stands since Sunday, Casey, or you heard from people via text or messaging or phone calls because you're really doing well and they're starting to notice that maybe on a national level?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and everybody has been real happy with the coverage too. They said it was great, with the weather being what it was. A lot of people elected to sit in the recliner where it's warm and watch the MidwestTour.tv coverage, and everybody was real happy with it.
I'm not just asking for a commercial for us. I'm just saying for you, though, the recognition, I hope, is coming with the success you've had.
Absolutely. I mean, my wife had to turn my phone on silent so I could get up and go to work the next day because it just wouldn't stop ringing off the hook. And I to be honest, I don't mind, So, no, everybody and their brother congratulated us. They were real happy to see us win. And yeah, I know John Alverson, Baja. He's one of our Southern sponsors, so his phone was ringing off the hook too.
So I tried to make mention. You might not remember, but I said Baja as a sponsor for Casey, and he does Baja through turn 2. It might have been like lap 3 of the race, and you're putting the left front about a foot and a half into the grass in turn 2. I went, oh boy, here we go. We're Bajaing already. Don't know if that really equated to him getting his phone ringing, but I just had to make fun of it, I guess. Associated.
You're right. Yeah. Oh, John, he actually reminded me that. He said him and his wife were laughing in the living room. So, no, he caught that. But he's a big supporter, and he helps get drivers into my development program, too. So,
hey, do me a favor. Take this weekend off. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. Take your wife out for brunch. Take the kids out. Enjoy some time before you get back at a racetrack.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Saturday we're going up to we're going to go to Wisconsin International Raceway. We're going to test out our new car and shake her down a little bit. But maybe Sunday I'll take off.
All right, sounds good.
I'm a big fan of. I've never been there, but if you want to take the family to practice day on Saturday, the Harry Houdini Museum in Appleton's kind of a big attraction. I don't know if the kids. Heck, you might not even know who Harry Houdini is, but it's in Appleton, the Harry Houdini Museum. I'm telling you, Casey, you could take the kids there. Maybe they could just, try on some stuff, and you guys can have a nice quiet dinner with you and your wife, and the kids would be kind of stuck in the museum. I don't know, stuck in the museum.
Nice thing with the kids and the wife. I don't know if that exists. So we'll see.
Hey, it's been a fun couple of days, a couple of weeks, getting to know you better and getting to see how good you race. Podium finish at Slinger. You had him handled. By the way, Dalton Zier was trying to make a race of it, wasn't he? I mean, that was a pretty intense race at the end. I'm really glad to see you had the blubber just figured out just right at the end of that one.
Yeah, no, and just like you say, I've raced with Dalton for years now, and we've had so many side-by-side battles, and it's just another one for the record books. I love racing with that guy, but just like you said, those lap cars let him get close, and he didn't make it easy on me, so we had to sweat a little bit there at the end.
It was a great race. Congratulations. Thanks for taking time out again of your schedule to join us here to talk about some great success. How about a nice hand for Casey Johnson? of Edgerton, Wisconsin, joining us here on the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks, Casey. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Big win. Big win. Hey, I want to remind fans that we are at Paulies Pub at Eatery, 81st and Greenfield, right across the street from the Milwaukee Mile. And today, tickets went on sale, discounted tickets went on sale for the Father's Day Sunday, June 19th ARCA Midwest Tour race that Casey Johnson is racing in at the Milwaukee Mile. Sunday, June 19th. Discount tickets are available online at trackenterprises.com. The Midwest Truck Series is racing. Mid-Am Stock Car Series is racing. Vintage cars are racing. It's a one-day Sunday show racing at 1 o'clock. So 9 o'clock, the cars at the racetrack and trucks racing at 1. So keep that in mind. Discounted tickets are now on sale for the Milwaukee Mile Father's Day racing for the ARCA Midwest Tour, Midwest Truck Series, Mid-Am Stock Car Series, and Vintage classes. Purchase tickets online at trackenterprises.com. That was kind of fun, Dean.
It was fun.
Get to hang out with Casey.
Again. Yeah.
He's
He's, I think he is just... he's as good. No disrespect to Ty Majeski. No disrespect to Luke Fenhouse. He is just as good, if not the best, super late model racer in the state, in my opinion.
Setting the standard. It's what Casey Johnson's been doing for the last 10 years. Heck, he's only 31 years old now. So keep in mind, he's going to be after this for a while. I did ask him a question you might see on MidwestTour.tv. I said, what is your ultimate goal? Is there going to be a race you really want to do or a series you want to run? He said, someday I want to run a NASCAR truck. So that's why I keep asking about the national buzz. I want to see Wisconsin's own Casey Johnson. Maybe put it out in Martinsville. Wouldn't that be cool if you got lap the field at Martinsville? That'd be awesome. Okay, now we're getting a little carried away. We are talking to two junior dragsters, racers, siblings, Elena and Cameron Liss. John DiPiazza is hanging out with us with the A&A Tire Drag Race Report. We also have a beautiful race car outside, halfway out the hauler. Thank you, Kyle Cazzo, for bringing down his Grand National. That's here at Paulies. We're talking to all those folks before the show ends up. We got a lot to talk about. Come on back and join us on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for tuning in to the Racing Roundup Show. Check out our website, racingroundupshow.com, and like our show on Facebook. Join us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We're coming right back after these messages from our awesome show sponsors.
Automatic Transmission Design is located in Germantown, Wisconsin. They've been hard at work the last 15 years in perfecting the best performance racing transmissions and converters. The folks at ATD have made it possible to offer the best quality and most affordably priced winning components for off-road, drag racing, truck pulling, and circle track applications. ATD may not be the biggest or most famous company in the marketplace, but they have the will and put in that extra effort to provide you with the best products available. ATD's certified technicians go through a comprehensive quality checklist on every transmission and converter they build. Then it's tested on their in-house dyno. Only then is the product ready for shipment to the customer. ATD takes these steps to provide you with the best quality products every time. They are 100% guaranteed. Their no returns policy makes sure it's right the first time. The next time you need a performance transmission or converter, give Charlie a call at 262-251-7777 or visit autotransdesign.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
The Gravely Mower Series at Olson Outdoor Power is raising the bar on performance with smarter controls, longer run times, and more comfort. Add in layaway and financing from Olson's, and there's no lawn you can't conquer. Buy the best from the best. Gravely at Olson's Outdoor Power, Muskego.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Millwright Raceway in Dousman, Wisconsin, home of the Badger Kart Club. Walk the pit area, talk to racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand. Spectator admission is free. Badger Kart Club Points Racers and National Touring Series race on the challenging paved road course most Sundays from April through September. Badger Kart Club is well established and well respected. There's 15 classes and over 100 drivers racing every week. From ages 5 to 75, kart racing offers competition for generations of racers of all ages. Bring the kids and check out kart racing for yourself at one of America's finest kart tracks. This is where Alan Kowicki, Danica Patrick, Sam Mayer, and Josh Palicki got their start. Millwright Raceway is just south of I-94 in Dousman, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. For all the latest information, directions, and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
This is America's longest-running weekly motorsports program, held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed on the Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Thanks for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Once again, here is the trackside voice of the Daytona 500 and NASCAR at the track. You see him on MAV TV's live coverage of the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl and the Arca Menard Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Thanks again, folks, for having us along with you on this Tuesday night, or when you happen to consume this show. Thank you. We're at RacingRoundupShow.com on Facebook Live, and love to have you interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. This portion of the show is brought to you by BMRE Electric Carts in Random Lake. Brad Miller is Wisconsin's only Icon dealer and has in-stock inventory and customizing options available right now on their Facebook page, BMRE Electric Carts Company. And here's a reminder to support your local short track. The season opener for Dells Raceway Park is this Saturday. DRP has the highest car counts in Wisconsin again last season by a survey. Check out UMA-sanctioned Pro Late models and asphalt modifieds, plus sportsmen, bandits, and six-shooters. That's this Saturday. Qualifying starts at 4:30, racing at 6 this Saturday night. Log on to DellsRacewayPark.com. It is now time for the A&A Tire Drag Race Report. John DePiazza, welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. Thanks for being on.
It's great to be here. Talking about a long winter, though.
I know. We got a vet, we got a Vega. Let's talk about what your racing season's been like since you were on the show last fall.
Last fall, we ended points championship for the 777 Series, 4 and 5.
Congratulations.
It was a great year. It was an excellent year. Other than that, everything went to rest after, I think, the last time I was here.
Went to rust. I heard that.
Went to rest. It's been that wet. It's been that wet.
As in not a lot of racing, you're saying?
Correct. And speaking of that, I wish usually I'd have a little more winners and runners-up of this start of the season by this point, but nobody can race.
Well, they did get one race in over the weekend.
Well, they did.
At Charlotte, the 4-wide. Would you believe John Force is going to turn 74 years old this week, and he picked up his 155th Wally? I can't believe that.
He's 2 years behind my dad, and he's still driving a race car. It's pretty impressive.
It doesn't matter the age, though, right, does it, John?
No.
Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the gender. You get the gas pedal, you get the wind light. Let's do this.
Exactly, and that's why we got these two kids here.
Who'd you bring along with you today?
So I have Elena and Cameron Liss, who I've been racing with their dad for, it's got to be 10 years now, probably. And I've actually had Cameron on my shoulders down in Benton, Illinois, watching his dad race when I was out early. That was before I was actually better than Stefan.
So you guys are born into this. Cameron, we'll start with you because that's who your buddy John talked about first. How much is that? How much fun is that, knowing you've been at the racetrack, you grew up there, and now you get to race yourself in a junior dragster?
It's a lot of fun.
What's the best part of it thus far for you?
Probably going fast.
All right. I like going fast, but I can't do that every day. You guys get to do it on the drag strip as fast as you can. Elena, thanks for coming on the show. How long you been racing?
I've been racing for 5 years.
Whoa! So you've been born into it, now racing 5 years into this. How much do you help your little brother?
Not that much.
Who does all the work?
Well, Dad, but we try to help him as much as we can.
Okay. All right. I see something going on here. It's all about the wind light. I said that earlier.
So when Mia first took her first passes...
That's your daughter?
Yep, my daughter.
Yeah.
She's just starting to get into it a little bit. But they were there for their first passes, definitely helped her out. But these two against each other are pretty fierce competitors, I'm not going to lie.
Cameron, is that one of the main goals where you're going to just say, hey, if I'm lined up next to my sister, she's going down?
Yeah, just beat her a lot.
Love the atmosphere. I don't know about Sunday night dinners, though, when you guys get back home at the racetrack. Elena, how much fun is it knowing that you're in a racing family? You now have got 5 years of experience doing this. How much enjoyment do you get out of this? How much do you put into this? How much time do you spend working on your dragster or your brothers or helping with your dad on his stuff?
It's really fun, but when I help Dad, I sometimes don't know what to do, so I just stand there and don't really do much. And he said that I'll have to help out more this year.
And John, I'm thinking the schedule is similar to what you and your daughter Mia may be getting into, where they're going to race junior dragsters, your daughter and these guys, right?
Yeah, I'm hoping Mia's still learning, so
Okay.
we're going to put her in passes here and there, but I think their first race is not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. It was supposed to be last weekend, and Great Lakes has done a whole track makeover.
Yeah, tell us more about that. I'm hearing like new pavement, new asphalt, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
For the better, for racing.
Super excited, and not very often can you, I hate to be this way, can you really up-talk a track like this? But I'm super excited to bracket race there, and I bet you there's a ton of people that are super excited just to drive down it now. They redid the first 100 feet of the racetrack in concrete and then paved it all the way down, and actually had a company come in and prep it and do everything right, which they're spending money in the right areas, and unfortunately due to the weather, everything got postponed behind. So these kids got to miss, well, you still got to go down your first track, right, this year? And how much faster did you go this year than you did last year, Cameron?
I was going 11:90 last year. This year I'm going 8:90.
What? 3 seconds faster?
And how fast is that?
Probably about 65.
Does it feel a lot faster?
Yeah.
Can you look around, or are you just holding onto the steering wheel?
Look around, kind of.
Kind of.
Checking his watch, look and see what kind of birds are out there on the left left lane. Okay, the birds are over there. Foxes are over there. I'm sure he's got all sorts of time to check the scenery. No, 8-second laps, young man. That's 8-second passes. That's a lot faster. But it's relative, isn't it? Once you get in that condition, once you've been doing this for a while, what was it like the first time you went down the track and you got 3 seconds faster than last year?
Were you more nervous than being on the radio?
A little bit, but not really.
All right.
And then Elena actually took, her dad got the motor from me for her car. So now she's going, how fast?
About 80 miles an hour.
Whoa. Awesome. Is that a big progression for you, your 5th year into this, or is it just a 5 mile an hour difference, or a 2-second difference, or a 1/10 of a second faster? What's the difference this year?
It's a pretty big difference because my old motor is in Cameron's car now, which was about 50 to 60 miles an hour, and now I'm going 80, which just feels like a pretty big difference.
And how many passes have you done thus far already this year?
3 or 4, because I just had to get my license for going faster, so we did like half the track and then you let off and just coast the rest of the way down for 2 of them, and then 1 full pass down.
All right, Elena, where do you guys race, and where can we follow the list racing schedule?
We go to Great Lakes Dragway and then sometimes WIR up in Kaukauna, and you can either follow my dad or Christy on Facebook.
So how many? Is it every weekend? Sundays at Great Lakes or Saturdays?
It's once a month in the summertime.
Okay.
And then it's Saturday mornings.
Ah, okay. All right. Cameron, do you want to add to your schedule now that you're going lightning fast?
I don't really know what to add.
All right. I'm just saying. Say, Dad, I need like 20 more race dates. Where are we going? Or should I not say that with it for you? I'll just tell him after the show. I think he needs to race more. We need to get like 20 more races in. How do we do that? And your dad's probably going, just stop, Jim. Just stop.
So there is a little secret about being on this show. Usually the next week after, you have a good race weekend.
Yep.
I've been there before. I think you guys are both in for, since you're in both different classes, is there a goal to win next weekend? Or 2 weekends? Next weekend. Mother's Day, after Mother's Day, yes.
Yeah.
Is that a goal?
Yeah.
Elena, how many different cars will be in your class? How many different junior dragsters do you think you'll line up against in the overall rundown in your class 2 weeks from now?
About 10, but now since Cam's going faster, he's going to be in the same class as me, because last year we were in 2 different classes because we were going different speeds.
So Cameron, this is right where you want to be, beating your sister every chance you get on the racetrack.
Are you gonna chase her into the lanes and see if you can match up first round?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, John? You get a choice. There's lane choices we know based upon qualifying speeds when we watch it on TV. What about on the junior dragster level?
I don't know how exactly. I know like when we go to a bracket race, a big bracket race, we pull into the lanes, and then whoever you line up against ends up right lane, left lane. At our local track, they'll pull chips.
Okay.
So if you get the red chip, you end up a lane choice. You get the other chip, you end up obviously in the other lane.
Okay.
My assumption is if Stefan's smart, he keeps them away from each other, just like when Steph and I would go somewhere and race.
Stefan's Mr. the parents of these guys, yeah.
Yep. We try to stay away from each other at any track, just because you don't want to race each other. Same with my brother and I. Unfortunately, we've had the pleasure of racing him second or third round, which is way too early. But
Elena, what would be your ideal situation with those 10 other cars in your class? What would be ideal for you to draw? Is it walking down the track and seeing which lane is better? If one's a lot better, you're like, man, I want the left lane. I want the left lane. How does that all work for you guys? First round, how do you get that choice?
It all depends on when we do time runs. If
Okay.
we'll sometimes do the left lane or we'll do the right lane, and whichever one we like the best is the one that we will try to go with that day. But some days it can change.
And how about the successes you've had this far, Elena? How much fun is it knowing that you got that win light a couple times, or is it 25 times by now? How many race wins have you compiled in your junior dragster career thus far?
I really don't know, but it's a lot of fun when you win, and when you don't win, it's still fun because you get to watch other people race, and hopefully Cameron will go far like he did last year.
Perfect answer, Mom and Dad. Perfect answer out of her. Got some head nods going. Cameron, your goal is to win a bunch of races. How much fun is it being at the track with friends, and now you're racing against your friends, not just watching others do it? You get a chance now to race in a faster car, but more importantly, you've got some great relationships, I'm guessing, at the racetrack with other friends.
Yeah.
When you get there, who do you look for first? Do you guys pit together with some friends that kind of do the same thing you do?
Yeah, mostly Ben.
Okay. And is he going to be in your same class?
Yeah.
All right. So a big move for both you guys then, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
How about sponsors? I know John's got A&A Tire on his vet in Vega. How about your sponsors, Elena? We'll start with you.
My dad's work is sponsoring at Cassandra Motorsports this year. All 3 of our cars.
Wow. And Cameron, who does more work on the car, you or your dad?
My dad.
All right, just checking. Because, you got to thank everybody involved. So who else helps you with the race car?
Christy.
Yeah. She takes times and stuff for you, too? Logs all that stuff?
Uh-huh.
Make sure that everybody's unloaded on time?
She makes sure everybody's organized and nobody's fighting.
Sometimes that can be hard to do, especially now you're in the same class. John, where are you racing next?
Steph and I are leaving for Muncie, Indiana, for 225 Granders on Thursday night, if pending weather. They haven't heard that it canceled yet, so that's good. And actually,
so 2 chances to race for $25,000.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So pretty excited about that.
And I mentioned it in passing, but tell us more about the cars you are racing this year. You have your dad's Vega, and now you've got a Corvette in the stable.
Yep. I've been driving a buddy's Corvette from Tennessee for the last 6 months, 8 months. Had a lot of success with it. Still have my Vega, and then Dad's.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's your Vega.
Yeah, and then Dad's Firebird.
Dad's Firebird. Sorry.
Which is in pieces, but we're getting it back. Actually, the Vega and the Firebird are both in pieces at the moment, but we'll get them back together.
And when it comes to racing, how proud are you of these guys? Knowing your buddy Stefan has got a really good thing going with them, and it's got to be fun to know that that's part of what you guys get to do as a bunch of friends as well.
It's neat. If you get a chance to go to one of these races, whether you get to see the junior stuff, it is such a family environment. Stefan and I, and then there's probably 4 or 5 other families that all kind of, hang out together and enjoy a good time, and all the kids can hang out together. It's just a really great family environment.
Family business, A&A Tire. John, tell us more about it. We want to know where we can buy tires.
Highway 100 in Beloit, right across the street from Stein's Garden Center. As far as I'm concerned, it's the best tire place around.
Family business since 1982, I think I wrote down at
79.
one point. 79. I got that wrong. That's why I was going to ask.
Dad started it in 79.
All right, 1979. Crazy. I'm not going to ask how old these guys are because I know they weren't around the 70s or 80s or 90s, but think about this. There are drivers like Erica Enders, who was in the Junior Dragsters. Elena's hot, and she's like, she had a movie made about her that Disney made into the thing. Is that something you want to keep doing, Elena? She's still racing and winning races in Pro Stock.
Yeah, it would be really cool to do that and keep on doing it because it's so much fun.
And Cameron, where do you hope to get this racing bug continue to get itched and the scratching and the itching of going racing as much as you can? Do you have a goal in mind?
Yeah, I want to grow up to be maybe a professional racer or just a local racer.
Yeah, sounds like a lot of fun. And you guys are doing a great job right now already, enjoying it, racing. And Great Lakes Dragway, I'm guessing, is where we can find you when the Junior Dragsters are on that Saturday morning schedule. GreatLakesDragAway.com, what the schedule is.
Yep, exactly.
It's got to be fun. And I'm glad you brought them down, John. Thanks a lot.
I'm glad they have this experience. I didn't get to do this until I was probably 25 years old, and then I was probably nervous then. I can only imagine how nervous you guys were.
You guys did a great job. Anybody else you want to say hi and thanks to while we're on the radio or on the show?
Just to all my family that came today, that just came out of their time to spend it and watch us be on the show.
Cameron, anyone else you want to thank?
Mom, Dad.
Cool. It makes a lot of fun. It makes a lot of sense. They're the ones that are part of it. I'm sorry, you said someone else?
Christy, Brian, all my family.
Sounds great. We'll end it there. I've grilled you enough. It's been a lot of fun. I hope we can have you guys back on the show this year. Could you make that a promise? Because John's going to line that up. We'll have you guys back on when you're seasoned into the season, once we get rolling here.
At least 2 wins in.
All right, that's a goal. Could be next. Could be in 2 weeks. We don't know. Could be 3 weeks from now. Come on back. You have an open invitation. How about I say for Elena Liss, her brother Cameron Liss, and John DiPiazza. Thanks, guys and gals. And please make sure every guest signs the backdrop, no matter if you're racing the Indy 500 or you're racing Junior Dragster. We do everything on the show to help support racing. Now you have 2 more racers to cheer for at Great Lakes Dragaway on a Saturday morning in a couple weeks' time. Guys, thanks for being on the show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
You bet. Hey, I want to tell you that there's breaking news. Our first DeAngelo's Construction Roadshow broadcast will be Tuesday, May 24th, where we'll be taking our show to Bobby's Bar at 14735 West Lisbon Road in Brookfield. John DiPiazza promises he'll be there. Then we have an NHRA Top Fuel drag racer TJ Zizzle lined up for that, so that is on our schedule page at racingroundupshow.com. So join us for that road show and have some fun with us in a couple of weeks' time. We'll get you up to speed on the world of motorsports. We have more to come. We're talking about racing a Dirt Grand National, and Kyle Caswell has some years doing that. We'll talk to him next about his season to come at 141 Speedway. Stay tuned. You're watching the Racing Roundup Show on racingroundupshow.com and hanging out here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. We'll be right back.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Contact us on our website, racingroundupshow.com. We'll be right back with more of the Upper Midwest and Wisconsin racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports.
Greenfield Gallery wants to buy your racing collection. Do you have die-cast cars from IndyCar, Sprint Car, or short tracks? Greenfield Gallery wants them. If you have old racing programs, racing photos, and negatives, Greenfield Gallery wants those too. Contact Ralph Hibbert Jr. at Greenfield Gallery, who wants to buy your racing collection. Ralph also has an ever-changing eBay store full of racing collectibles. Search Greenfield Gallery. Email Ralph right now to get connected. His email address is ralph@greenfieldgallery.net.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street in Drexel are experts in automotive repair. For over 30 years and counting, the Napa Certified Car Care Center at Oak Creek Automotive handles emissions testing plus minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. Call Oak Creek Automotive 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Friday, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. For all your vehicle repair needs, head to South 27th Street and Drexel to the pros at Oak Creek Automotive.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Belansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 Lincoln and West Dallas.
D&H Sales and Service is Sheboygan County's largest steel and outdoor power equipment dealer. Since 2003, owner Brad Dahmer and D&H Sales and Service strives to offer you the best brands with leading manufacturers such as Aaron's, Gravely, Ferris, Simplicity, Snapper, Steel, Wright, and Toro. Each brand is backed by a stocked parts department and the highest level of customer service. All of our inventory is online at SheboyganPowerCenter.com, and when you buy from D&H, you will be shown how to safely operate your ready-to-use equipment. We have over 80 feet of steel display, and we have over 75 pieces of steel equipment in stock. D&H is Sheboygan County's only Briggs & Stratton Diamond dealer with a master service technician and factory-trained service department. D&H Sales and Service is conveniently located off of I-43 in Sheboygan and is an authorized service and warranty center for most brands on the market. We'll service almost any brand of small engine equipment. Call us for details at 920-458-1865. D&H Sales and Service also offers pickup and delivery to Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and Ozaukee counties. Search D&H Sales and Service on Facebook or log on to SheboyganPowerCenter.com today.
We'd like to welcome D&H Sales and Service in Sheboygan, a new sponsor to the Racing Roundup Show. SheboyganPowerCenter.com is the website address. The address, they're right off I-43 in Sheboygan. Make sure you check out Brad Dahmer and the great staff they have there. Great service department as well. SheboyganPowerCenter.com. D&H Sales, a new sponsor for our show. As a matter of fact, we saw Brad in Victory Lane at Road America last year during our D'Angelo's Construction Road Show. We were in Victory Lane, so was Brad's 1970 Chevelle he rolled out for his vintage racing. He'll be having some fun in a couple weeks' time during the spring vintage at Road America. And he loves that place, and I'm sure he's going to be racing there a bunch. Looking forward to having that racing family involved with our program. Congrats again to Kevin Kniese for winning the Joe Shear 36 Midwest Truck Series race at Madison and a photo finish duel with Bryce Miller. The Midwest Truck Series is supported by Widener Automotive and Bassett Racing Wheels and is back in action with weekly divisions this Saturday night at Marshfield Motor Speedway. For details on this affordable and growing regional racing series, visit MidwestTruckSeries.com. It's now time for the Anderson Maple Syrup Racing Short Track Spotlight. They're proud sponsors and supporters of Wisconsin racers Dennis Prunty, Bill Balog, and Jason Gross. Try Anderson's Maple Syrup in your coffee or tea or on ice cream. It's great on just about everything. Eggs, yeah, oatmeal. Yeah, it's really good. Take it with you with Pure Fuel, Maple Energy on the go. Buy Anderson's Maple Syrup at your favorite grocer, Anderson'sMapleSyrup.com. Anderson's, pure quality since 1928. And our spotlight shines brightly on the car that's halfway out the trailer but ready to go racing at 141 Speedway. Let's welcome in the driver. That number, I forgot the number. It's on the side of the car.
C42.
C42, I knew that. I knew as soon as you said that. Let's go with Kyle Caswell. Kyle, welcome to the show. Thanks for being on with us.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
See, the hauler kind of hid the number. I was looking out there, but I'm really glad you backed it out of the hauler. The weather when you came in here was misting sideways.
Yes.
And it's kind of been that way all spring. So I imagine you're getting a little bit of an itch to go racing, aren't you?
Yeah, we got a little taste of it. 2 weeks ago, we went up to Beaver Dam and kind of a rough go of it, but
was it a
good.
Practice or a race?
No, we raced up there. We had a good night. Car was all right. I just had to shake it loose and kind of get used to it. So it was a good time.
Did you have to fix anything?
Yes. Yeah.
I heard the track was a little bit bumpy.
Yeah, I got kind of caught up in something early in the heat race and took down a right front tire, so bent a bunch of steering stuff. Didn't really catch it before the feature, so I felt better after the car didn't feel as great as it normally does. Kenny usually puts out a really good setup, and it just wasn't the same. So when I got back, I found the reason why. So feel a little bit more confident now that I know what the reasoning was that it didn't feel right. So
Kyle, let's give Kenny some due. Who is Kenny and what does he do?
Kenny Richards at Outlaw Chassis and Suspensions is just the best in the business. The guy has been awesome. He's supported me throughout every single thing, and this year he's really backed me. He's given me a lot of one-on-one time and kind of work through stuff, and I appreciate his brutal honesty. I remember coming up to him and telling him, I can't figure out why I can't get to the center of the corner. He said, well, stop driving through the center of the corner. Why don't you start backing the corner up? And really made me a little bit more self-aware and got through some things, and then we could fine-tune it. And end of last year, we were just hauling it. I mean, we had 9 races at the end of the year. I never finished outside the top 4, 6 top 3s, and 2 wins to end the season.
Wow, that's awesome.
It was phenomenal.
At what tracks were you at, Kyle?
Seymour we won, and 141 we won. We ran Luxembourg, and then Beaver Dam once more.
So you're moving around to a lot of stiff competition that races at the same track every week, and you're doing that well. That's impressive. That takes a lot of work. How many people are involved in your process of performing at that high level in 2021 and going forward?
It's crazy because a lot of people think that it's cliche to say it's a family sport, but Brandy, my fiance, is my crew chief and get my head on my rear end, kind of pick me up. And my crew consists of my dad, my uncle, and my best friend Roger, and my kids, my daughter Charlotte, Bristol, Sophia, Jaslyn, Austin. I mean, it's awesome. So it really is cool because they get to see that it's not just going around there. It's not just what you see on TV. They see the week in, week out, the grit, the grind, just everything that it takes to do it. And it's a commitment that everybody's really put forth and helped me, get to where I'm at. And it's really exciting to see them watch what we're doing. And Dad's running still with me. I mean, 68 years old, and my dad is still banging fenders with me. And this year we got my Uncle Brad has actually got a Grand National that we're putting out. So there's going to be 3 Caswells sitting in outlaw chassis race cars going fast. So it's really cool.
So your number's C42. Dad was always 75. Is he still 75?
C75.
All right. What about Uncle Brad?
C59 this
There you
year.
go.
Yep.
All right. Now we know.
Yep.
Now we know who to cheer for.
Yep.
You raced a lot of different tracks this past year and did well. Is there a schedule yet in place for you to say, I want to start here or maybe race here more often than other tracks?
Yeah, and I think that the schedule really does promote that this year. I mean, there's a lot of off nights with the specials that they run up at 141. So it gives us an opportunity to go and hit Plymouth and hit a couple other tracks that we didn't get a lot of opportunity to run last year. Luxembourg has brought us back on their Fall Classic, and I think one of the coolest things that our sport has right now in Grand National is Putch Bentley, who's been back in this division for a long, long time, has put on a race on Labor Day, $2,100 to win, and over $3,900 in bonus money. So a guy could walk away with almost $6,000 if they win and lead all the laps and do a lot of stuff.
So that's on Labor Day weekend. What track?
Eagle River Speedway, Jim Zadroik's track. So it's kind of cool because at Hales Corners, I grew up watching Jim kicking everyone's butt. So to be able to go up there and race at his track, and that family is just die-hard racing. So it's so cool to see them. They just live and breathe it. So it's really cool.
And that's a big deal. And there's more money, it seems like, being brought in as sponsorship happens at racetracks, or there's a really good car count. Hey, we're making a bigger show. We want to, because as you have the platform of a Grand National, you have choices.
Right. And not having a national sanctioning body allows there to be a little bit different group of people that get to come in there. You're not buying into a licensing, and you're seeing a little bit of a younger wave of group drivers that are coming in. It's really exciting because they've been watching the division, or their family members have been in it, so they understand it, they respect it, and it's really a blast. So.
And as a veteran now, I would say you are, when you have a good race car from Outlaw Chassis, when you are cooking as good as you were at the end of last year, there's an expectation. But there's also a bunch of new people that keep saying, I want to try this, I want to try that. You were there once. How do you help that fellow racer? Are you one of those guys that goes down the pits and helps them, or you're just like, hey, figure this out, man?
If they're willing to listen to me, I'm
That's
willing
a big
to,
if.
I'm willing to talk. If you know me, talking's not my issue. And I always enjoy if they give me the opportunity to kind of walk through it. And I guess the one thing that I used to and still do have taped in the inside of my car, it says race the track. It sounds so silly, it sounds so simple, but you run 20 laps as fast as you can run them and as clean as you can run them, as smooth as you're going to go out there and you're going to put out a good show. And right now with the equipment that we're in and the things I've learned, I'm either going to have to do something stupid on that racetrack, or they're going to have to race the race of their lifetime. Otherwise, they're going to be chasing it. So,
give us the basics of a Grand National car, and why is it such a popular platform that more than 4 or 5, 6 tracks around here happen to run?
It's based off a metric chassis, so they do have the metric chassis with no setback, a little bit of an engine setback. We have no weight rule, 358 max cubic inch. So it's a really cool power to weight ratio. We're able to fabricate our own bodies, so we're not bought, we built.
Yep.
And I'm proud to say that we built every body that came out of our shop this year. And I just think the opportunity is there because there's a lot of cars, and they were based off of generically like a Mid-Am car from the late 2000s.
Sure.
So there's a lot of those cars around. And you take them up to Kenny, or you take them up to any of the other guys up there, and the conversion is pretty simple. So the availability to turn that car into a Grand National is there. And I think it just, the price point and what you can do in the car, I really think it's a very intriguing division to be in. So.
And how much do you have to invest in spares? I asked that the leading question because I talked to Miles Demosmelius back in the day. He won everything in a modified, 5 nights a week, took the car to his job, worked on it at lunch, loaded up, met his family at the racetrack, raced, and did the same thing for 5-6 days a week. I asked him, what is the spares in the car? He's like, well, I got a station wagon. I said, great, there's room for kids? And they said, no. They come in a different car, but if I got to take the kids, I got room for them, but I have a toolbox and a spare tire and a jack. That's it. What kind of spares do you have in your trailer now?
Right now, nothing, but I got a bunch at the shop.
All right. What do you take along with you?
What's that?
What kind of tools and spares do you take along with you?
We just basic, suspension components, transmission, a couple extra things like that. And the cool thing is that we're all running the exact same components. So the big deal with all 3 of us running the same division is a couple A-arms go a long way. I mean, unless
Sure.
we all have a bad night, and then we're probably not willing to give it to one another because we probably had something to do with the other one's bad night. So.
But it sounds manageable in a way.
Yeah. I mean, it's a ton of work, and the parts are really available, being that it is a metric chassis. I mean, you can go out there and you can buy a lower metric A-frame at Bailings or anywhere like that. But, if you still want to go and get them out of the boneyard and grind them down and clean them up and put ball joints in them, it's still an available thing, and there's still a lot of parts out there. This last couple of years, they went to running a 3-piece spindle.
Okay.
That was a big saver for us because now when you bend something up, you're replacing an arm. You're not trying to get a whole spindle prepped and ready to go. So some of those spares are getting a little bit smaller. They fit in drawers instead of fitting in boxes.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, and we run a lot of basic things, and everybody's running the same thing. We all run that same chassis, the metric chassis. So anywhere down pit lane, somebody's got something for you. You're not missing a night because you got something broke. So
In general, car counts in the Grand National Division were how many cars in a given night last year?
We averaged 19 cars at 141, which is a big jump. A couple of years ago, it was pretty scary. They're down to about 12. Most tracks were right around that 16, but
Okay.
I think 141 had the strongest car count. They did a thing on Wisconsin short track stats on Facebook, and they had showed the car counts, and it was 19 cars on average. So we know 3 or 4 different ones that are adding on to it. So we're really trying to push it, trying to get it to that point where we're forcing them to have a B main and put on a good show and get recognized. Scott and Toby up there are putting on a $1,000 to win show up at 141. So. We've been begging for that clout, and we finally got it. And I think that if we keep showing up when they invite us, I don't see why they'd stop.
Speaking of Kyle Caswell, has got a busy schedule ahead of him. You said primarily 141 Speedway this year. Is your schedule set by what others are doing, or is it when the tracks are running Grand National, or are you kind of doing your own rogue kind of a schedule?
I think primarily we're going to run 141.
Okay.
We have scheduled to run at Plymouth twice, Beaver Dam a couple of times. Seymour, they run us only the last 2 years or 2 nights of their season,
Okay.
so we'll run there back to back. And then the end of the year classics, all their fall shows are really cool. 141's got a 2-day show, Luxembourg's got a show, Eagle River with that Labor Day show. It's really given us an opportunity to do a little bit of traveling and kind of see. And I kind of hope that guys see something and they like something at different tracks and they really find it, and then they make that their home track and keep supporting it, because this season is not going to be a season that's going to go easy for a track promoter, and we really need to do our best job to put our best foot forward and promote it and stand behind those guys, because they give us a place to go have fun on Saturday nights. So
Yeah, very well said. Who's helping you this year with your car? You mentioned your relatives, your family, your children. Anybody sponsorship-wise we should recognize for their involvement in your stuff?
Yeah, I've been really lucky. There's a man, Don Priest, who owns DJP Trucking. He has supported me. He is my biggest sponsor and supporter. He cheers me on from the sideline. We got to get him out to the track this year one time at least. So they're a big sponsor for us. I just brought on a new one this year as Master Fleet. They're actually going to be sponsoring the August 13th race up at 141 also.
And what do they do?
That's a repair facility for trucks and trailers, semi-trucks and trailers. We got 3 locations. I work there.
Okay.
We have a location in Neenah, Green Bay, and down in Caledonia. So
Nice.
Very widespread. My dad brought on a good buddy who's been around for years and years, Rick Zarati. He's got a place out in Big Bend, Zarati's Auto Sales. Great friends with Joe and Jillian Dredska. They own Dredska Heating and Cooling. They've been good friends, racing buddies. They get it, so they give what they can give, and it really helps out a lot. This year we brought on Farm and Fleet. So Blaine's Farm and Fleet, the local Rawson store location, is sponsoring us this year. I think that's pretty much it. And Outlaw Chassis is giving me a little bit of helping hand there with the stuff that he has to do. And I believe his exact words were, "Don't be afraid to stick your nose in there, because we'll figure out how to get your car back to the track." So.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Where are you going to be the next couple weeks?
We run 141. They got the Mother's Day Eve special this Saturday night, and then the following night or next week we'll be up at 141. They got a couple specials that go around, so we're going to do a coin flip to see if we're going to end up doing Plymouth or Beaver Dam. So kind of see what the weather brings.
Yeah, that's a big question mark. Where can we find you on social channels to follow along your progress?
Caspack Racing. That's racing with an N. So, yeah, we do a lot of shout-outs. We do a lot of updates, good, bad, or indifferent. We'll let you know how the night turned out. So, pretty excited because this week we're going to have both Brad, my uncle, and my dad, Mark Caswell, is going to make their season debuts. So I got to shake it down. So I told them the weather was too bad. They stayed at home last week, so I got a leg up on them. I got some extra laps on them this year. So
it's been great catching up with your preseason. Let's do this again mid-season and have some fun. It's great to have you guys here and great support that you brought along with you as well. How about I say for Kyle Caswell joining us tonight? Kyle, thanks for your insights.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Wish you all the best, and we got that whole luck thing going on, so let's
Yes,
keep
sir.
that rolling.
That's right.
Start the season like you finished last year, man. You did really well. We're going to be back next Tuesday night here at Paulies. We'll tell you who's on the show when we come back on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned.
Join the racing crowd every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central all season long. Share what you love about short track racing on our Facebook page and on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We'll be right back with more of the Racing Roundup Show. ARR has been recycling for over 80 years and is here to help you with your spring cleaning. Take them your recyclable metals and they'll pay you cash. ARR buys aluminum, brass, copper, lead, and steel. And contractors, ARR has a bonus program just for you that puts more cash in your pocket. Find their full list of accepted materials at ARR1938.com. ARR with locations in West Dallas, Waukesha, and Milwaukee, right next to Miller Park. ARR Recycling since 1938.
Eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races. Hook up with Boring Bob's escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, race tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack to get you in and out fast. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Daytona, Bristol, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and more. He has decades of experience and industry contacts galore. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
The NASCAR Cup Series returns to Elkhart Lakes Road America this 4th of July weekend. The NASCAR Quick Trip 250 presented by Jockey Made in America and the NASCAR Xfinity Series Henry 180 guarantees high-speed thrill and endless family fun. Enjoy the family fun zone, camping on site, and free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult. Don't wait. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, your national park of speed.
Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment is a fully equipped parts, sales, and service dealer of quality mowers, snow throws, trimmers, chainsaws, and more. Olson services what they sell, does warranty service work on big box store mowers, and their expert service technicians are ready to get your equipment running right. Put their stock parts department and friendly, knowledgeable staff to work for you. Visit the racers at Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment today at 14323 West College Avenue, just 1 mile east of Moreland Road in Muskego. Olson'sPower.com. Olson's Power Equipment.
Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st Street and Greenfield Avenue serves up Milwaukee's best pizza, outstanding wings, and a great pub menu. Paulies Kitchen is open late every night with great nightly specials. Paulies has a shuttle bus to all Brewers games. Party on the patio this summer with Paulie. Paulies has 18 flat-screen TVs to catch all of your favorite sports. Stay up to speed and download Paulies mobile app and receive a free 22-ounce tap beer. PauliesPubandEatery.com. Have you partied with Paulie?
Welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. Looking forward to having you interact with us. Hit the Contact Us page link on our website, racingroundupshow.com. Let us know how you want to get involved in the show, be a sponsor, be a guest on the program. Looking forward to seeing you here on a Tuesday night. Hey, we're making way here in a moment for Gabriel Sanchez to sing up here on the stage every Tuesday night. There's Troubadour Tuesdays, 1 or 2 band members, and they really do a nice job here. That's part of our program after our giveaways after the show. So come on down and enjoy Gabriel Sanchez, who's traveled the world fronting a Prince tribute band. He's really good. See the racers at Schlafer Auto Body and Sales in Lannon for your next auto body repair of your daily driver or fleet or work trucks. Since 1974, 4 generations of racers have been getting it done the right way. They work with all insurance companies. Search Schlafer Auto Body on Facebook and check out their award-winning classic car restorations. Here's another reminder to support your local short track. Weekly racing starts this Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway on the Kenosha County Fairgrounds with Wisconsin wingless, bandits, modifieds, and street stocks. Arrive hungry. They've got some great food there. Gates open at 5 p.m. Buy your tickets online at wilmotraceway.com. Next week on our show, our May 10th program will include Midwest Truck Series racer Sean Urick, Trans Am Series road racing driver from Manitowoc, Evan Pecor, Badger Midget racer Mike Stroik, and we'll preview this Friday, the Friday, May 15, Diamond 44 Wabam Dirt Kings Late Model Tour race at Wilmot Raceway with driver Turk Letizia. And we'll have news and interviews from the Wisconsin racing scene and the world of motorsports once again. Visit our website, racingroundupshow.com. We have a schedule page there. We'll keep you updated on what's going on and on our socials as well, on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Big thanks to our show crew, Dave Schmalzer, Matt Rapina, Greg Lapine, Sam Trado, Dean Strom, Sherry Prague, Bruce Blodgett, Mark Goodman. Greg Lapine, we certainly want to make sure you are healthy and able to join us next week as he's on the mend from a fender bender over the weekend. We want to tell you that we had a blast. This show has been one wonderful program. We couldn't do it without Dave Schmalzer and Matt Rapina and all the gadgets they get to put together and take apart on our behalf. So thanks, guys, especially for making this show possible. I want to thank our guests tonight, Parker Retzloff, the NASCAR Xfinity Series driver from Rhinelander. Hope you learned something about Parker and his budding NASCAR career. Thanks to Casey Johnson, the big winner of the Joe Shear Classic on Sunday afternoon. Thanks to Bill Holland for his involvement in the program. Thanks to John DiPiazza, Elena and Cameron Liss, and Kyle Caswell. Kyle, thanks for bringing the car down tonight. We have giveaways to do after the show. We're going to be hanging out here next Tuesday at Paulies Pub and Eatery. And until next Tuesday, race fans, set your DVRs, support your local racing. Have at it, racers.
Thank you for joining us for the Racing Roundup Show. Like our show on Facebook. Contact us via our website, racingroundupshow.com. And interact with us on Twitter and Instagram at Racing Roundup. We are delivering fresh content every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Until next time, race fans, support your local racetrack, set your DVR, and have at it, racers.